You made it out alive, at least. Your gear's safe in my room, as promised. Did you learn anything useful?
Really? That seems hard to believe. You're sure about that?
Esbern? He's alive? I thought the Thalmor must have got him years ago. That crazy old man. Figures the Thalmor would be on his trail, though, if they were trying to find out what's going on with the dragons.
You mean aside from wanting to kill every blade they can lay their hands on? Esbern was one of the Blade's archivists, back before the Thalmor smashed us during the Great War. He knew everything about the ancient dragon lore of the Blades. Obsessed with it, really. Nobody paid much attention back then. I guess he wasn't as crazy as we all thought. Riften, eh? Probably down in the Ratway, then. It's where I'd go. You'd better get to Riften. Talk to Brynjolf. He's well-connected. A good starting point, at least. Oh, and when you find Esbern, if you think I'm paranoid, you may have some trouble getting him to trust you. Just ask him where he was on the 30th of Frostfall. You'll know what it means.
Today's come and gone, for the age of aggression is
The Thalmor happened. They've been hunting down every blade they can find for the past 30 years. Thanks to the White Gold Concordat, they've been able to operate throughout the Empire with impunity. Part of the cost of peace. Emperor Titus Mede saved his empire at a very high price. A price that included the Blades. The Nords didn't like the peace treaty much either. 30 years later, the Empire ends up with the Stormcloak Rebellion on its hands. No doubt exactly as the Thalmor intended. The Blades have always guarded and guided the Dragonborn, but we'd forgotten why. Now our purpose is clear. I'm all that's left of the Blades, and you're the Dragonborn. Together, we're going to stop these dragons if we have to put every last one of them back in the ground.
It means so much to us to have the claw back where it belongs.
Yes?
Thank you.
What did you need? Sure thing. Do you want to have it standing here, or do you want to find a seat first? All right. Now, on to the drinks. Do you want to have mead, wine, or just plain milk? Okay, then. Likewise. So, it turns out this friend that the note in Ustengrav was talking about was none other than Delphine. Kind of a relief, I'd say. She's not my type, but at least it's her, compared to other kinds of people in Skyrim. The less welcoming ones. I read this book once. That was ages ago, really. And it was already falling apart. It had a very sweet love story between a woman and a vampire. Of course, when I was very young, I had a soft spot for romance. It was so silly, too. The vampire glowed in the sun. Whoever came up with that hogwash. So, what do you want to talk about now?
Killer of kings, on the day of your death we will drink and we'll sing.
I feel sad for her. She's been through a lot, I can tell. Whether it be the death of her husband Torrig, or having to govern the entire province of Skyrim in the midst of a civil war, and a looming threat of a Thalmor invasion. However, I'm confident she'll get through this. She's strong, and hardship breeds endurance. All right. So, what do you want to talk about now? Wow. Looks like you're in a philosophical mood tonight. In terms of what I think, everyone is born as a blank slate. An infant, for example, doesn't know their right hand from their left. You can't hold them accountable for anything, because they can't grasp the concept of what is good and what is evil. However, when you get to a certain age, you start learning these things. That's when people can start erring towards the more good part of the spectrum, or quite the opposite. However, once you're on a certain end of this spectrum, it doesn't mean that you'll stay this way for the rest of your life. Some people rise as heroes and die as villains. Others, They work to overcome their evil with great effort. All right. So, what do you want to talk about now? I have, actually. But not before I get to explore the rest of Tamriel. Besides those distant lands, there's a lot else to explore, you know? The delicacies and culture of High Rock, the dense forests of Valenwood, the imperial city of Cyrodiil, or even Skyrim, by the Maker. I've spent most of my life cooped up in a dusty old tower. Almost everything is new nowadays. All right. So, what do you want to talk about now? Well, this one is a hard one. While I do like Altmer wine, I would have to say the crown goes to Cyrodiilic brandy. The texture is just so unique. The flavors are strong, but not overpowering. And it sort of has a nutty, chocolatey aftertaste. Though, it doesn't help that the brandy is so hard to find in Skyrim these days. All right. So, what do you want to talk about now? Yeah. It's not the most comforting thought, but it's a reality I'll have to face eventually. Seeing as how I'm a vampire, my soul will most probably end up in Cold Harbor. If I could, though, I would like to potentially alter that fate. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy my vampire powers, but I hate what it's done to my family, and who I ultimately have to submit to. It's nice, spending time like this, just having drinks together.
Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death, we will drink and we'll sing.
Do be careful with that spell, will you?
Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when Dawnguard beckons, every one of us dies.
Pour me an ale.
But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
You're asking for trouble walking around with dangerous magic like that.
That spell looks dangerous. Keep your distance.
You're asking for trouble walking around with dangerous magic like that.
That
Yes?
spell
What
looks
did you need?
dangerous. Keep your distance.
You're asking for trouble walking around with dangerous magic like that.
That
Hey,
spell looks
even
dangerous.
I can get
Keep your
tired
distance.
every now and then. Finally, a place to just relax.
That spell looks dangerous. Keep your distance.
That spell looks dangerous. Keep your distance.
Hold there. Before I let you into Riften, you need to pay the visitor's tax. For the privilege of entering the city. What does it matter? It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Let me open the gate, and you can head into the city.
So, Riften it is then. Was never really too fond of the place myself.
Gates unlocked.
But hey,
You can head
if that's
inside
where
when you're
we'll
ready.
find Esbern, that's where we're going. Do be prepared to brace yourself, though. If I were a betting woman, we'd most definitely be going through the Ratway in Riften sewers. That kind of thing doesn't even exist. At least to my knowledge. It's worth looking into, though. Anyway, enough mucking about. Let's do this.
Yes?
What was that?
What was that? Over here!
Not so fast!
No!
Are we alright? I'm calling it the first ones in the bag. Fighting the daughter of Cold Harbor. big mistake.
Stick with me, and they'll never even know you're there.
Hey, thank you, Delphine.
Kind of feeling a little uneasy here. Everyone just seems so reserved, but not in a good way.
A lot more coin.
You'd better have coins. Huh. Lot of old guys around.
Thanks for the compliment.
I don't really know how I can
may
help.
just take you up on that one day.
Well, when you put it that way, I think I do know the old guy you're talking about. He's holed up in the Ratway warrens. Hardly ever leaves the place. Has someone bring him food and such. Crazy old coot from what I've heard. For that to stand out down here, he must really be off his nut.
Is someone there?
There's the blade agent.
Too easy.
Kill her.
No more! I yield! I yield! I'll see you. Mercy!
I am your master.
Really?
There you are.
Not impressed!
Come on. No more. I yield. I yield.
Ah! That's it! That's your place! No more! I yield! I yield! No!
That Esbern must be pretty tolerable towards literal shit, because that's what I smell, even trying my hardest to ignore it. Yes?
Forgot what adds the hidden helmet, but it pretty much helps with it. You can use it for the smithing exploit instead of just doing like gold rings or gold coins a bunch of times. You can use this to up your smithing instead. In fact, I think this might have been added by one of Arthmore's mods. If not another one. See, most of my vampires end up becoming alteration mages because through attuning fire resistance and other stuff.
Nice job. Anything good?
A bunch of crap. Too bad you can't interact with this. It'd be cool if it would be cool if this led to another area underneath Riften. Like part of the old city that was still around but buried because of the quakes from the first or second era and the Great Collapse. Salvinius here is a veteran from the Great War. In fact, it drove him insane to the point where he fled to Riften, where he's been here ever since for the last 30-something years, trying to just forget everything that had happened to him.
Knife, book, inkpot, stone. No.
This guy, by the way, is a great way to get the chef's outfit to impersonate the gourmet.
Knife.
Why are you
book?
Why are you sitting on him?
Bucket? Yes. Inkpot? No.
Go away. No. What? No, that's not me. I'm not Esbern. I don't know what you're talking about. Delphine? How do you... So you finally found her, and she led you to me. And here I am, caught like a rat in a trap. What's that you said? Dragonborn? Then there really is hope after all. You'd better come inside. Quickly now. Dawnguard agents have been seen in the Ratway.
No.
This'll just take a moment. This one always sticks. There we go.
Bucket, knife,
Only a couple more.
stone. No, no, no.
There we are. Come in, come in. Make yourself at home. That's better. Now we can talk. You, Dragonborn. Is it really true? Important. Far more than even she realizes. If you are Dragonborn, then there is hope, after all. For so long, all I could do was watch our doom approach, helplessly. Dragons, pah, they can be killed. The Blades killed many in their early days as dragon slayers. No, the dragons are merely the final portent of the end of days. Oh, yes, the prophecies make clear the signs that will precede the end times. One by one, I've seen them fulfilled. Alduin has returned, just like the prophecy said. The dragon from the dawn of time, who devours the souls of the dead. No one can escape his hunger, here or in the afterlife. Alduin will devour all things, and the world will end. Nothing can stop him. You're right, I forget myself. I've lived without hope for so long. The prophecies are clear. Only the Dragonborn can stop Alduin. We must go, quickly now. Take me to Delphine. We have much to discuss. But give me just a moment. I must gather a few things.
Yes? What did you need?
No useless trash.
I can't wait to see the courtyard again.
We have books to read later. I actually thought about doing that sometime. Like, I know there's another channel I'm subscribed to that's done it, but I don't know if they're still doing it. Where they read like books from Skyrim. We have to leave nothing for them. This will start the quest, the Galdor Amulet Reforged, Forbidden Legends.
I do, actually. You may think it's kind of weird, but I enjoyed playing with the rats by our castle Undercroft. That became my own little hideout for a while, where I'd go to when I just wanted some peace and quiet. It was also near the sea. Even when I became a vampire, I still did enjoy the breeze and fresh air. Anything natural and calm, really. Just to get me away from all that was happening at my home with my father. Usually when he was in a bad mood.
What? Someone will suffer whoever did this. There's the Blades agent. Kill her! Behold the future! Behold the Tholmor! No! I cannot elude.
Still run.
No more! I yield!
Yes?
Now, what do you have on you? Nothing
What did you
important. You'd think they'd be carrying some sort of assassination orders or something.
Seem nervous, which makes me nervous. Do you need something? I can't wait to see the courtyard again.
Hey, did you say something?
Oh, nice. Sorry, you won't be needing that anymore, man. I'll put it to good use for you.
Why are they hurting each other?
Careful! Don't hurt me!
Someone do something.
The Thalmor's memory is long. It's nothing.
I have a good reason to believe the target will be coming to Riften in the next few days. Discretion is preferred, but elimination of the target is of highest priority. The usual restrictions on exposure are lifted. You will be reassigned outside Skyrim if necessary, without penalty. Do not fail me, Ellenwyn. Well, too bad, that's not going to happen, Shivari. Let's go.
Gems, potions, exotic ingredients.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
Delphine. It's good to see you. It's been a long time.
It's good to see you too, Esbern. It's been too long, old friend. Too long. Well, then. You made it safe and sound. Good. Come on, I have a place we can talk. Orgnar, hold down the bar for a minute, will you?
Yeah, sure.
This way. I assume you know about...
Oh, yes. Dragon Bow. Indeed.
Yes.
Well, this changes everything, of course. There's no time to lose. We must locate. Let me show you. I know I had it here somewhere.
Esbern, what?
Give me just a moment. Here it is. Come, let me show you. You see, right here, Skyhaven Temple. Constructed around one of the main Akaviri military camps in the Reach during their conquest of Skyrim.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Shh! This is where they built Aldrin's Wall, to set down in stone all their accumulated dragon lore. A hedge against the forgetfulness of a wise and foresighted policy. In the event, despite the far-reaching fame of Aldrin's Wall at the time, one of the wonders of the ancient world, its location was lost.
Esbern, what are you getting at?
You don't mean to say you haven't heard of Aldrin's Wall? Either of you?
Let's pretend we haven't. What's Alduin's Wall, and what does it have to do with stopping the dragons?
Alduin's Wall was where the ancient blades recorded all they knew of Alduin and his return. Part history, part prophecy. Its location has been lost for centuries, but I have found it again. Not lost, you see, just forgotten. The Blade's archives held so many secrets. I was only able to save a few scraps.
So you think that Alduin's Wall will tell us how to defeat Alduin?
Well, yes. But there's no guarantee, of course.
Looks like we're going to
Skyhaven
this
Temple it is, then.
Skyhaven
I
Temple.
knew you'd have something for us, Esbern.
Not much. But what I read about it seems to confirm what Delphine and Esbern are saying. It used to be a base of operations for the Blades in Skyrim. It was supposedly a thing, and functioning thousands of years ago. Back before, I got locked up. In any case, though, I think we'd find more answers if we follow these two.
We'll meet you there. Be careful. That part of the Reach is rough country these days.